You saved for 43 years. You followed the plan. You retired at 65. The plan worked. You died anyway. Not physically, not yet. But the person you were? Gone by day 12. The retirement they promised you was freedom. The retirement you got was a schedule with all the structure removed. You woke up at 6:15 anyway. Your body didn't know how to sleep past the alarm that no longer existed. You made coffee. You sat at the kitchen table. You opened your laptop. There was no email to check, no meetings to join, no deliverables to track. The silence wasn't peaceful. It was accusatory. You tried hobbies. Gardening lasted 9 days before your back reminded you that 43 years at a desk had reshaped your spine into a question mark. The vegetables judged you from their raised beds. You couldn't even retire correctly. You joined a book club. They read 1 book per month. You used to read 30 reports per week. Your brain didn't know how to process information that slowly. By page 40, you were highlighting passages and drafting efficiency improvements for fictional characters. The book club politely asked you not to return. You tried volunteering. The non-profit was grateful for your expertise. You optimized their donation tracking system. You restructured their volunteer scheduling. You increased efficiency by 47%. They thanked you. They meant it. But you saw the look in their eyes, the same look your family had, the look that said, "You're doing it again." Doing what? Being useful, being productive, being the person you'd spent 4 decades becoming. The plan said retire at 65. The plan didn't say what happens to the part of you that only knows how to work. You started waking up at 5:30, then 5, then 4:15, not because you had anywhere to be, because the empty hours between waking and acceptable morning stretched longer every day. You reorganized the garage, twice. You color-coded the spice rack by cuisine, then by frequency of use, then alphabetically. Your partner watched you label the label maker and didn't say anything. They didn't need to. Month 6, you started checking your old work email, just to see, just to stay current, just to maintain relevance in a field that had already replaced you with someone younger, cheaper, and tragically eager. Your replacement's emails had a different rhythm, enthusiastic, unbroken. You recognized that rhythm. It was yours, 43 years ago. Month 9, a former colleague called. A consulting gig, just a small project, 3 weeks, maybe 4. Your expertise was invaluable. Would you consider it? You said yes before they finished the sentence. Your partner saw your face when you hung up. They'd been watching you dissolve for 9 months. They saw the light return to your eyes. They saw the person they'd been living with reassemble into someone recognizable. They didn't ask you not to take it. They already knew they'd lost. The 3-week project became 6 weeks, then 3 months, then permanent part-time, then full-time with flexible hours, then full-time with regular hours. Then the hours stopped being regular and started being everything. You were 66. You were back. Your retirement party photos were still on the mantel. You in a forced smile, holding a plaque that thanked you for your service. You looked so tired in that photo. You looked so ready to rest. You never learned how. The human body takes decades to build an identity. 43 years of waking up early, optimizing processes, delivering results, measuring worth in output. You can't dismantle that in a retirement seminar and a gold watch. The plan worked perfectly. You saved the money. You hit the date. You followed every rule. The plan just forgot to mention that you can't retire from being you. Your calendar is full again. Your inbox is manageable. Your purpose is restored. You feel alive in a way that gardening and book clubs could never provide. You're 71 now. Your contemporaries are on cruises. They're babysitting grandchildren. They're finally resting. You're in a meeting. You're solving problems. You're doing the thing you've always done. The thing you'll keep doing until your body makes the decision your mind couldn't. The retirement plan had a 40-year savings strategy. It had investment diversification. It had a target date and a payout schedule. It just didn't have a plan for the person who only knows how to work. They call it post-retirement occupational relapse. The inability to maintain retirement, the return to work not for money, but for identity, The phenomenon of people who saved for freedom and discovered they'd been saving for a prison of unstructured time. The studies started in 2018. The data is still being collected. The retirement industry doesn't talk about it. They're still selling the dream of freedom at 65. They're not selling what happens when you get there and realize you built your entire self around something you just gave away. You're still at your desk. You'll die here eventually. The ergonomic chair will outlast your spine. But you'll die as you. The you that knows how to be productive. The you that has purpose. The you that was built over 43 years of optimization. The retirement plan worked perfectly. You just forgot to retire the part of you that made the plan possible. You're still working. You'll always be working. The plan accounted for everything except the person executing it. Search post-retirement occupational relapse if you want to see the case studies. They're still being written. You're in one of them.